All
Alright,
right.
well,
Well, as a longtime proponent of RFW, uh, I'm going to initiate a little bit of map talk, and let me state now that my views and opinions do not reflect the views and/or opinions of the Penumbra RFW circuit. Uh, so, with all that out of the way, I think that shared lanes kind of steal away from the spirit of RFW. You're getting off track, you know. It seems like more and more maps are coming out with shared lanes, and with shared lanes often comes additional rules and addendums and no-nos that you can't do or else we'll kill you. It's like it's it should be a very simple concept, RFW. It should be nothing more than each team has a lane, get the wolves, get them on the monument, they'll go in the void lane. You know, very simple.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and I feel
Freaking
maps like
buggy.
this, you know, while this was a great map, the walls look nice and everything. I feel like so many maps could be fixed in my eye, and that means exactly what it means. It's just an asshole's opinion. But it really it feels like a lot of maps in recent times have kind of been veering away from what I've always seen as traditional RFW.
Yeah, like I have no problem seeing the I'm gonna use the word standard to describe the Race for Wool maps that I like just the regular old 2-lane map with 3 wool dungeons, and I honestly have no problem with that. But then there are maps that have like 4 lanes, an iso lane and a main lane, and then there are some that have shared lanes, like you said. But like honestly, I think the ones that are quote unquote standard are honestly the best played. Like they play the best out of all of them. Like erosion.
Yeah, I feel
Uh,
like many shared lanes are based on how quickly teams can get to a certain area.
Wait, why is he still allowed to talk?
Yeah, I'm a streamer as well. It's not like I'm.
Fair enough.
All right. So I guess any closing thoughts?
I'm gonna throw out the 2 matches tomorrow, which are gonna be Jeremy Flores versus Rack Has No D at 2 p.m. Eastern, and Fleet versus Fleece Acquisition Program at 8 p.m. Eastern.
That's
So,
So
another
there's
thing.
that.
All these joke names piss me off. Nobody takes himself serious anymore. I can't take a FAP acronym serious. All this shit. You know, it's like you get in the lobbies. You know, everyone's fucking off. You know, like you may be a good archer, but you're not a professional. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Is that a challenge,
See,
Rix?
Is it a challenge?
Whiskey
No.
Brigade is a man's team name.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's no underlying sex pun. There's no this, that, or the other. It's exactly what it is. Whiskey Brigade. You know,
Yep.
it doesn't reek of memery. There's no troll bullshit going on. It's like we made that a professional name. You know, like it.
hmm
Sure, drunkenness might not be all that professional, but the point is we didn't name our team for the laws. You know what I mean? We don't
Yeah.
fuck off in the lobby. I don't know. Just I'd like to see another cold-blooded professional team just come out.
Like Rush.
Ah, not
That
even
one works.
I don't.
I don't think it
That one
does.
doesn't do it
No,
for you.
Rush is good, but they're not professionals. You know, you can be good all.
Obviously, the classic professional Minecraft engineers, but
Yeah.
Even them, they were good as well, but they weren't professionals. You know
They
what I
weren't.
mean?
They
but
weren't
it's in their
Whiskey
name. They must be
Brigade level.
professionals.
Rixia,
Uh,
who do you think were professionals?
let's see, Cubist. Cubists were pretty good.
Okay,
All right.
I can give you that.
Redstoners were close. You know,
They're
Redstoners
all
were close.
business.
Airship aces. I'd say that's
Aces were
not
pretty
bad.
good too, but I mean, you see some fuckery there. You know what I mean?
True.
And I'm good buddies with all the aces. You know, it's nothing personal, but I want to see another cold-blooded team, man. No, Rush is a good name. I'm talking about their actions and demeanors. You know, like
We all remember Ben's reaction after what was it? The false respite win, I think.
Oh yes, that was great.
Or after having my ears blared through every win that of playing during Artilia, I think I'd have to say that the game against Impact was definitely the worst.
Really?
The both Minnie and Ben doing it at the same time does not make it any better.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I feel your pain.
I don't think you do. You weren't there, man. You don't know what it was like.
Somebody remind me. What didn't someone like make a remix dance track when Traz yelled no on that one match? I don't know who was around for the RMCT
Nah.
2 days.
I'm too new.
I think. I don't know.
It sounds like a
wasn't.
question for Paul. If Paul's still out
Yeah.
there. It sounds like something Paul would know.
How long's Paul been around?
He's been around. I think he's been around that long. But, so let me share with you a story. Yeah, Platinum did. That's what it was. So there was a game we played against somebody. We being Whiskey Brigade, and there was a audio track lifted from the match when Traz went flying off of the off of our lane. He got hit with a punch bow. He had all 3 wolves, but knowing there were backups, when he got shot off, he screamed no like a little bitch. And I didn't feel like bad because he got shut off. I didn't feel bad because we lost momentum. I felt bad because he made us as a team look bad. That kind of emotional outburst is it's a shine, like I don't know, it's just like a beacon to badness. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you can't control your emotions while you're playing a game, then the team can control you. And that's why I won't say Whiskey Brigade was a professional team. We came close.
God damn it, Traz.
If not for this one thing, it would have been so professional.
Yeah, I could probably say that for the most part, we kept it together. But that's why I think so much attention was drawn to it, because, aside from that, you never heard anybody yell. You never heard anyone say anything that didn't contribute directly to the match,
Traz, it's all your fault.
You're
See,
out there.
I'm the exact opposite. I say everything that has nothing to do with the match.
I think back when I was on BPF, we had a few matches where we just started breaking out in song.
Nice.
That's always a good
I
way to
feel
pass
like
the
I've probably
time.
done that before. I think some of the classics are getting watch-togethers and like face cams and stuff like that, all going while playing.
I feel like during that one game, Dixon Cider versus Lizwiz PvP in Artilia, Samate was singing for the entire team. That sounds like Samate, I think. Well, what do we do now?
On closing notes, any good Netflix series that I should watch? Anybody?
Arrested Development, if you haven't already.
I haven't.
It's great.
Alright.
Sub, are you advertising other things on stream? Come on.
No, sorry.
Bad
We better
job,
close
admin.
down stream now. Rixiot, there's your cue.
Cue for what?
To shut down stream.
To shut it down?
Yes.
Oh no, I got things to say. I'm gonna lament
Oh,
about the way
baby.
things are going.
Alright, well then let's hear it.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Alright, great. So,
What I'm gonna say is, thanks Buggy and the rest of the people who did the PUG team, because without that we wouldn't have had a show match and blah 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 blah. Thanks
And all the
BearBaiting for
things.
actually showing up, and thank you Rixiot for streaming.
Come back later when we can have some better games for you to stream.
Yeah.
I remember what I was gonna say. The importance of professionalism.
Oh, no.
Right. I mean, like.
one sec. Let me get my notebook out.
All right.
Oh, by the way, Zarpal confirmed Samate sings like an angel.
Alright, the notebook's ready. You can go.
Well, be that as it may, All right, Minecraft is one of the farthest games from professional gaming, right? I think most people can agree that you talk to someone who plays LoL, and they take themselves very seriously, almost too seriously, I would say. And there is a point where we can reach that. We're on the complete opposite side of that spectrum. We, as RFW players, and past players, and support staff for RFW. The importance of professionalism is, when the RMCT started, Arthur Blue started it, and he had a fucking vision, he was gonna make RFW something worth watching, and we almost got to that point, and I can't say for sure where we lost our way, like yeah, maybe the rules bogged it down, or people thought that the game had some kind of spirit. Like all those debates always got under my skin. It's against the spirit of the game. The game doesn't have a goddamn spirit. It's got a set of rules and a map that it's to be played on, and then some assholes that come in and fight each other. That's what RFW was. There was no spirit of RFW. There was an objective, and it was clear and defined. And you know, I don't know. It seems like we got close, and then we just weren't even close ever again. And that's why you find a lot of old players disheartened. It's crazy as shit that the collective player base gets insane good. You know what I mean? You take any given member of Cubists or Whiskey Brigade. You name any first and second tournament gen players that aren't still in the game, and none of them would hold water in a bow fight versus pretty much any given team today. The collective skill has gone up, but the the, the professionalism's just gone. You know.
Yeah.
And does that mean that skill comes hand in hand with assholes, or whatever it means? I can't say. I'm just giving you speculation. The way things used to be, the glory days, man, when a stream like this wouldn't have 6 or 7 people, it had 30, 40, 50, and they were all on the edge of their seats. Like the momentum was building. People were watching, Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that sort of thing will get better as the tournament matures. Right now we're still in like the first round qualifier sort of things.
I mean, it's beyond a tournament. It's beyond a circuit. It's the esport itself, it's different, It's not. It's the sport itself,
Mm-hmm.
The RFW's been around for how many years now? Going on 5 or past 5? I don't. If things were going to take off within RFW, things would take off surrounding RFW.
What do you think is the thing that's holding it back? That's always a topic of hot debate, I think.
If I had the answers to that, I'd have solved the problem. It's hard to say, but I'm adamant. Everyone's adamant about how correct they are. But I think it needs to start with the map makers. Because there's been a long discussion going on about do maps have a lifetime? And a phrase that wasn't even uttered back when I was playing was about what's the meta for this map. There were no metas for this map. It wasn't a thing that we thought about. For some reason we didn't look at the map like that. There wasn't something that everybody did because there's always something new to do. At least from my perspective, that's how I saw it. Maps eventually got to the point though where before we really coined the term, there was a meta. Direct fire. When RFW started, by the time a tournament's run on one map, I think it's fair to say there's a meta at that point. So that begs the question, do maps have a lifetime? When's the last time someone did something really different on direct fire that didn't kind of revolve around a version change? TNT minecarts came out and then something new was done. That's not because the map was looked at differently. That's because the game, Minecraft, the game itself changed.
Yeah.
I think maps have a lifetime, and there needs to be a standard for maps. 2 lanes that are parallel and symmetrical. They don't touch. They can be varying degrees of distance away from each other. You know, I can't say for sure what the standard should be. I never made an RFW map, so I'm not one to say. You know, but I think maps have a lifetime, and there needs to be a standard for maps that are made.
Oh, freaking. Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
There's one thing that I would like to point out about that too, and I think that personally, I'm not gonna say that this is the reason why or this isn't the reason why, but I think us staying in version 1.7.10 for what, over a year now after 1.8 came out, it's kind of just like holding ourselves back. It's not helping us in the slightest.
Maybe new isn't like the way to go. Maybe we shouldn't look for new stuff. Just kind of expand upon old stuff. I don't know. Not
This is
that I'm
getting its own
supporting
video, by
staying
the
in
way.
1.7. That's cool. Not that staying in 1.7 is the right thing to do, but like
Well, like you
maybe
look
we
at
should stop
OCM.
trying to
OCM's in
innovate.
1.8.
Yeah, maybe we should stop trying to find new stuff to put in maps, and maybe we should focus on finding like better ways to expand on what we have.
Yeah.
Like the standard one wide bedrock PvP wolves. I honestly see no problem with them. Like they're fine. They're not boring to me.
I've never liked wolves.
You don't like any wolves apparently because you don't like PvE at all.
It's not that I don't like it, I'm just not good at it.
Yeah, the barrier to entry certainly doesn't help, you know, and I forget who I had this conversation with, and even if I remembered, you know, some people don't like, you know, their opinions shared without them sharing them. But it was a map maker I was talking to, so I made Nail just because I got really high a bunch of times, and I had an idea, and I made Nail because I wanted to have fun doing something that I wanted to do. There was no motive behind it. I wasn't, you know, like Revolution. That was my attempt to, you know, to fix RFW, to make something that RFW should have been, and it was a failure. It was fun because it was new, but the novelty wore off, and you know, in turn, so did the genre, I think. But Nail was different because I didn't have any intention of making it you know, competitive. I wanted to create a siege battle, as close as you can get to a siege battle in Minecraft, and modest or whatever, you know, like I don't think that anyone has been able to emulate a siege better than I have. Even myself, I can't. You know, I tried to make Tooth, and I just stonewalled. The map was shitty.
Tooth.
Yeah,
What's Tooth?
it was.
It's the sequel.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yo,
it.
I want to play this.
Maybe I'll revisit it. I think I don't know, whoever the OCTC map holder, whatever guy, he might have a copy of it lying around. Otherwise, it doesn't exist. But what I'm getting at is somebody talked to me, some other map maker, fucking can't remember who, but he was saying that for the most part, you know, because what's the ebb and flow of most RFW games? You go get your stuff, you might have to mine. You know, things may be simplified, but the essence of Minecraft is there. You need to grind up to your stuff, you know, and nothing's really just given to you. But in Nail, yeah, the Nail update's being held until Minecraft stabilizes, I guess. Um, but anyways, in Nail, I just gave shit to people because the map was under a time limit, you know, and from what I was told by said person who, you know, claims to have done a lot of research, and he laid out a timeline for me, and he was saying that for the most part, Nail was the first map to do that. I mean, everything else had been just, you know, like, oh, here you go, here's some wood, maybe. You know, there were some OCTC maps that had it, but, you know, everything was larger scale. He was telling me that Nail was the first, you know, small team, you know, map to do that. You know, just give people the stuff right off and have them go at it. You know, and that's another big thing. You know, the watching an RFW map. You know, you spend 45 minutes back in the day waiting for that climactic, you know, 5 to 10 minutes. You know,
Hmm.
it wasn't really edge of your seat until the end. But like, by God, like by the end of it, like like even the people that weren't playing were like, "Fuck, that was intense," you know. I mean, there were a few moments on the in between, you know, like, but you know, the length of time that RFW matches, you know, used to take was a problem, but that's gone now, you know, because the metas are there. There's so many things to address, you know, like the fact that we have no line of communication to, you know, the devs, you know, like that doesn't help either. It's hard to say, you know, and that's why a lot of the old people lost heart. You know, how do you look at something that could be this big and, you know, a project that is definitely this big, and you know, it's not an easy thing. So to cap off what was mostly a rant, I don't know. I've got a bunch of opinions and I believe I'm right, but will my opinion solve anything? You know, if everyone listened to me, would things be better or worse? I can't say. You know, maybe it'll help, but I don't think it would solve the problem. Otherwise, I'd be trying to help.
Well, that was interesting. Hmm.
So
There are a lot of
somehow,
people.
because of that rant, there are more people on. Oh, I don't. Okay. So, note to self: make Rick's rant more, because we get more people in stream.
Perfect. Noted.
It might have been the fact that the people that were playing in the game were watching for post game.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
I mean, it's all Rick's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I sure hope that Race for Wool can be big. I wish I was there earlier when Race for Wool was something to be proud of. Like, at least that's what I'm getting from what you're saying, Rixiot. Like, it used to be a lot.
It's difficult for me to talk about it because, like, for fear of it being perceived as me just gloating, you know what I mean? Because it's not really about that, you know. But I feel like who I was in the scene kind of invalidates what I say. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, because
Maybe it altered your perception of what was going on.
I don't think that it alters my perception of what was going on. I think it alters how people perceive what I say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Like, what was it before? You know, I mean, in RMCT1, you know, our Whiskey Brigade didn't win because, you know, maybe RFW shouldn't be a game of like, you know, technical skill, like who can do the best, you know, twitchy bow shots, who's got the best aim. You know, that should be part of it, sure, but like innovation is what made that. You know, like the only reason people know who Whiskey Brigade is, it isn't even because we won. You know, it's because of the way that we won. You know, the fact that we shouldn't have won. You know, the fact that if Whiskey Brigade came back, we wouldn't be anything, you know? It's the way that we won that was really what made it, you know? It was, you know, our second round Arcane Realms, you know? It was, you know, us coming in as nobodies, you know? We thought about things differently, and that's what made it, you know? This was the innovation, you know? Whiskey Brigade wasn't good at anything else, you know? Maybe okay at PvP and maybe okay at PvE, but like, if there's anything that we were fucking good at, it was innovating. You know, everyone hated Arcane Realms until we made it so that they didn't. You know, and innovators, you know, and there was some of that pushing as well with the Cubist in 3. And what shut them down? What shut their innovation down? You know, rules, extra rules and shit, you know, and the debates went this way and that way, and you know, and the people, like the RFW community shut down what made RFW great. And then the map makers added fuel to that fire. You know, it's really disheartening sometimes, you know. And I hate to say that because I don't want to shit on anybody's work, you know, because it hurts to see that, you know. But it hurts to see RFW where it is now, you know.
What kinds of rules are you referencing right now?
Any map-specific rules, anything, any map
yeah.
that needs to make up its own rule. If you cannot design a map without adding extra rules. It seems like to me you're failing RFW as a genre.
I can see that.
And I'm not saying play all the old maps, because like I said, maps I believe have an age, and they get old, you know. DF is old, it's played out, it's bombed and depleted.
And officially retired.
Yes, no one's gonna go back to RFW, no one's gonna go back to direct fire because it's dead. It's been played hundreds and hundreds of times, and everybody, this is how it should be. If you strategize for a map by watching videos, then I think at that point the map's played out. Maybe draw inspiration from videos. That's what we did. We drew inspiration. Oh, this guy did this here. We could reapply this there. We didn't go, how did he play this? We should do this. They won. We should do what they did. No one else made a gas cannon because it was fucking impractical. It was impractical when we did it. But what did it do? What did the other, the other team talk about for the next 10, 15 minutes? What did the streamers talk about for the next 10, 15 minutes? The fucking gas cannon. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. Shock and awe. It was practical in a sense that it could destroy grass blocks, but there weren't any really that needed to be destroyed in that area. You know what I mean? It's like that kind of innovation. It was such a indirect way to play that game. And I can't take credit for it. That was entirely Traz and his weird genius qualities. And all I did was sit there. Like I can't kick. The only claim I have to that is that I was sitting on his channel. Like I'm not trying to pontificate about how good we were. That was Traz, 100% Traz. But I've never seen that done again. I've never seen anybody do something to indirectly help. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So it's hard to tell what you're really looking for, Rixiot. Are you looking for like more and more innovation, or are you looking for we have a set thing and that you should like have a few different things that you could do on this map and then see how they interact?
It's
When you saying more innovation per map, like per
yeah.
teams, from teams.
I mean, maybe things are too straightforward. That's like if I had answers, like I said, I'd be providing them. I'd speak up at other times. I'd be in the RFW chat talking to people. If I had any solutions, I'd give them. But that's not who I am. I was an RFW player and a guy who talked a lot of shit. That's what I did. But I can say that that's how I saw things happening. That's what was happening. I'm just speculating on why things went this way or that way. I think the plug-in helped. Because the void lane is easy. It's like I can think back to a time when I fucking cheated once. Because there was no plug-in. It was direct fire. I got shot off of the top in the desert, and I landed in the cave, and I just kept rolling with it. I didn't fully understand that I cheated at the time. I'd have been like, hey, shit, oops. But I was like, oh wow, I guess, because my understanding was that if you fall out, you fall out. That was my understanding of the void rule at the time. I didn't understand that that wasn't a thing you could do. It was something I would never try for fear of dying, but I was shot out of the back of the lane and re-entered, in that little cave underneath. And if you know, not direct fire, but uncivil engineering. If you know uncivil engineering, you know what I'm talking about. That desert area underneath is like a mine. I got shot off the back of the lane, came back in. And the plug-in helps with that. It does, because that was cheating, what I did. And my intentions, whether I was ignorant or not, doesn't matter. Right, and if I knew at the time that what I did was wrong, I would have been honorable about it. Or maybe not. I don't know. Fuck if I know. I was an asshole. Maybe I would have just kept going anyways, But the point is, that the plugin helps moderate what needs to be moderated.
Yeah.
Like, looking at the map today, my problem with Danky Kang was that void lane that was perpendicular to the void lane. Like, the void area. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like you could go other ways about that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it was a dumb concept, but the way that it was handled, I think, was kind of dumb. Never mind even saying that. I think shared lanes are dumb. It was cool when Modern Warfare did it, because it was the only map that had it. But eventually that kind of got played out. Third walls like that kind of got meted out. It's get there and cock block, and that's what it is. You show me any shared lane and tell me that's not the meta for the third lane. Get there and cock block. Tell me it's not.
Can't tell you that.
Well, I gotta head out.
All right, Buggy. See you later.
See ya.
Damn, this makes me want to make a map that's like so standard but so open to innovation. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, sub.
Hey, BZ.
What?
You just said hey sub something.
No, I said okay, sub.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, it's my